Namaste Krishna Rao, welcome to IYR Talks English edition. Today we will just discuss on a very important issue, that is use of alternative resources or substitutes for efficient fueling. This is very, very important. India basically is dependent on economy is also driven more on consumption of petroleum or diesel products and other things, and India is also trying itself to be self-sufficient as far as energy is concerned by encouraging atomic sector on one side, hydel on one side, and then wind energy on one side, and also the solar energy on one side. But taking the way in which the economy is going forward, energy resources are very, very vital for the development of the country. So, in one of the advocates that is going on for the of course last couple of years is that how to efficiently use the petroleum products by blending with some other things. So, one of the options given is use of ethanol, which is a byproduct, basically a byproduct from sugar industries. Of course, others from others also they can extract ethanol, but here they take from bagasse or something, whatever the byproduct, this thing, and they say 20% of ethanol they can blend it in petroleum products. And of late we are hearing it is in process, they are mixing and sending it, but taking into the consideration the high cost of production this ethanol in India, is it worthwhile experimenting? That is the first point. And there is also a outcry that because of the blending of ethanol in petroleum products, there is a corrosion that is getting developed in the vehicles. So, taking these things into consideration, you just evaluate the pros and cons of use of ethanol for a mix in the petroleum byproduct.
Yeah, I mean, this is something started when there was this oil shock. Sudden oil prices have gone up, especially after the 1970 Israel-Arab war, Egypt war, and once the oil producing countries became a cartel and suddenly jumped up the prices of petrol and petroleum products, then there was a search for alternatives. One of the alternatives that was found is blending of ethanol with petrol and then supplying it. Started mostly in Brazil, because Brazil is a substantial sugarcane producing country. So, they get molasses and others as products, and making ethanol is an easy thing for them, and you will have huge quantities. So, they have successfully done it in Brazil, and it spread to other countries also. 5%, 10% was okay, but now suddenly they have upped it up to 20% in India. Given the present circumstances, is it a correct decision? Let us examine it from 2 points of view. One, to make ethanol you need sugarcane. Of course, maize also you can use it, but sugarcane is the main product. Sugarcane is a very, very water intensive crop. I mean, it is not one of that which is advisable for a subcontinent like India, where we have water scarcity. If you start producing sugarcane to get this ethanol on a large scale, you will be depleting the groundwater tables, which is not good for this. It is not sustainable. It is not a sustainable practice and a sustainable initiative. That is one very, very important factor that one needs to keep in mind. Second, long-term petroleum product prices. This was an issue when petroleum product prices were jockeying up, but today that may not be the case, because petroleum crude oil prices are stabilizing or are going down because you have new countries coming up with huge oil reserves. Today Guyana is the biggest oil reserve, Venezuela is another big oil reserve. In fact, the whole gravity has shifted from Middle East to Latin America. Today Latin America is the biggest producer of oil and natural gas. So also is Russia. When so much of a production is there, there is going to be a glut. In fact, even present day a level of $60 per barrel of crude may also come down. That is what everybody is predicting. This is the long term trend. When petroleum prices are coming down, why spend so much on blending. Third, higher blending without changing the vehicles can lead to corrosion of the vehicles, which is being borne by the commuters. Why do that? Because you wanted them to be 20% blending compliant from certain date, 2023 or 24, afterwards whatever is produced is going to be like that. But a lot of people have vehicles which are more than 2024-23. So given all these permutations and combinations suddenly going up for, and then today ethanol prices look to be higher than the petroleum prices. Why get it at that price and then blend it? So this rushing through of this ethanol blending at that rate is neither advisable economically or otherwise. That's
Brought in very good insight, sir. Let us see how it is going to go forward on this particular issue. Thanks a lot.